Okay, at times like these, you have to know your self-worth. We are being gaslit. We are being demonized. Almost no matter who you are, if you turn on the news, you're going to get insulted because you belong to a group they're talking about. Everybody. Which is kind of funny and crazy that we were all going to say these things about the other and find ourselves the other quite often. Some more than others. Like me, I am often in the other category, and that's my cross to bear, and I wear it proudly with dignity. I hope you're wearing yours because at some point, even if you are those in power at the moment, you will find your face cracked too. So if I were you, I would start investing in your self-worth. Let's talk about that. Feel good about who you are. You gotta believe you deserve to be in the room. As the world knocks us around, your self-worth must be high. It's not higher as in above others, not arrogance and narcissism. I'm talking about just knowing that you belong. No matter what people are saying around you, you belong wherever you want to be. This is not easy because as you hear the messages from your past and from the current moment, it is easy to shrink in the weight of the horrible insults, taunts, demeaning, dehumanization, marginalization, oppression, suppression, all of those ridiculous things people do, weak people do, to make themselves feel powerful. And in some cases, when they're making laws and making policy, they are pretty powerful. And we have our power too, and that starts in here and how we feel about ourselves. We live in a world that constantly sends us messages about what we should be, how we should look, and what defines our worth. It's easy to get caught on the trap of thinking that our value is tied to our achievements, appearance, relationships, all this stuff. Your worth is intrinsic. Listen carefully. It doesn't fluctuate with external circumstances, and it isn't dictated by anyone else's perception of you. We've all felt the roller coaster of self-esteem, up and down. I'm in today, I'm voted off the island tomorrow. That's what it is. You have to find the self-esteem in yourself, so it doesn't matter what episode you're booted on or off, you are still worth the life that you live. Maybe you get a promotion, and for a moment you are on top of the world. You get one critique, and it all shatters. In the arts, it happens a lot as dancers. You're in the studio doing all these amazing things, and you one stumble, and suddenly the whole thing, I can't dance, I can't do anything. Sound familiar? I know, me too. I did it, I do it, I have to manage it, I'm better at it, and still a note, a criticism, a trigger of some kind can send me right back into low self-esteem. I hate that. We must lift ourselves up no matter what. Achieving is making mistakes, and you're always rising. Self-worth. That cycle is exhausting. Up and down, you achieve, get a note, you crash. This ride of up and down convinces us that our self-worth is something earned, measured by our achievements. We're told that we're not good enough because we care about what others and society thinks. That's not self-worth. Self-worth is not determined by others. Self-worth cannot be shaken by others, the more you fortify it. It's not based on accomplishments, status, or approval. It's not tied to a number in our bank account, our title, our address, our friends, our achievements, our things. These things shape our lives, but they don't determine who we are. And they certainly don't determine our value. Unfortunately, many of us have endured painful childhoods, struggles with self-doubt, or periods where we felt unseen. But these experiences, while they may have shaped us, don't define us. We're not bound by the stories written in our past. We're free to author our own stories, to find healing and redefine what we believe about ourselves. We've got to rewrite our stories to make sure we are believing what we want to believe, having the outcome that we want to have, and have the season finale that we design. The beauty of our self-worth remains untouched regardless of what we've been through. It's easy to shake our self-worth by comparing ourselves to others, especially on social media. You know what I'm talking about? What he got, she got. We can stop that. Try to enjoy social media without comparing yourself to others, please, because that's not helping your self-worth. Your self-worth doesn't depend on those other things that you see. We are on our own journey. We'll face our individual challenges, and we'll use our own strengths. What others have or have not achieved is no relation to you. It's them. You are here. And then there's our appearance. We are constantly bombarded by what beauty should look like. We're told to feel worthy, we must look a certain way, act a certain way, dress a certain way, have a certain kind of skin, hair, all the stuff. And even though we know it shouldn't matter, it does. If you let it. We can't go there. We have to constantly remind ourselves, I am who I am, and I set the tone for my life, and everyone else adjusts to me. Of course, when you're at work and in certain environments, you have to navigate and play a role to a degree, and you must empower the part of yourself that can set the tone to teach others how to treat you, how to be with you, how to be around you, how to respect you, to build that self-worth so that you can stand anywhere that you choose. And you know this, our beauty is in our kindness, it's in our service, it's in our capacity to love. You don't need a flawless face or body to be a beautiful human being. We're taught otherwise, and we're indoctrinated to believe you must be a certain way, but you don't. And if you remind yourself that every day, all day, you have to take the responsibility to care for yourself and the fortitude of your self-worth. When we figure out how to do this, to be ourselves, to have that worth no matter where we are, we need validation from the outside world, much less, if at all. It doesn't matter what others think because you figured it out. And you have to do that today, because as the name calling and the insult and the humiliation and the degradation and the demeaning and the humiliation, it is off the chart. And if some of that stuff gets pointed at you, you had better be ready with your self-worth so that it bounces off of you like the silliness shenanigans that it is. No one else gets to decide who you are and what your worth is but you. You allow people to treat you how you want to be treated. And if you let them treat you like this, you're going to be like this. I would recommend or ask you to strongly consider what it'd be like to stand and be like this, whatever way that means to you. When we start to understand our self-worth, it is unshakable and we are free. We are no longer dragged down by what others say or think, and we are free to explore who we really are. Let go of the belief that your self-worth is something that must be proven or justified. You have nothing to prove to anyone, only to share. I'm quoting one of my best friends, Desmond Richardson. Nothing to prove, only to share. He'd say this before every performance, and we had nothing to prove. We shared who we were every night. It was amazing. Amazing. I miss it so much. Now I'm sharing that with you. Nothing to prove. We have to believe this. You have to look inside and really imagine the greatest, most grandest vision of yourself in the context of your life. And know that no one can touch that. They can gaslight you and they can tell you things that are not true. And even if you have to play a role to survive that moment, and I've been there many times, let me just shut up over here and endure this. You endure it and then you leave. Reminding yourself, okay, that was that moment and I'm not quite sure what that was about, but I know who I am. I really want that for you because, like I keep saying, there's a lot of hate being thrown around and it's easy to believe that I'm not the person, or maybe the opposite happens and you react and you throw some hate back and then you're in that cycle of going down the darkness and you've missed the point. There was nothing to prove. They will say what they want to say for power and greed and status and money, and they're being very successful at it. But for us, the minions, we can have love and life despite that mess if we take a moment to really celebrate our self-worth. And it's actually not something you do or something you proved, even to yourself. It's something you have to know. I deserve the life I was given by the divinity of the universe. I was born into this world for a purpose, and even if I can't figure out what my true purpose is, I am in the lane of my life. And the purpose will reveal itself if you just do the work. No matter how humble, do your best, stand tall, be confident, speak your truth, be respectful, set the boundaries and don't let them be crossed. Teach the people around you how you will be treated. Stand in that light and the seas will part before you. You got to believe it and try to remember it's not a state of doing. It may sound like that, but it's actually a state of being. You just know. Okay. Check out these. Thank you for watching. I think I've ranted enough today. I'll see you there.